Gentani, welcome to another episode of the Godfather Minute. With me, Alex Robinson.
Me, Andy Robinson.
And we're going to talk about minute number 47 of the Godfather Part II. Minute.
Alex, you'll know in a few minutes why I was whose voice I was doing.
Why were you doing that crazy voice?
Well, that's one of the characters we're going to be talking about.
Oh, I haven't watched the minute yet, so I don't know what's coming up. I don't want to spoil anything.
Alex, no homework Robinson.
You've heard of people who listen to this show even though they've never watched The Godfather. I'm going to be the first guy to do a podcast about a movie he's never seen. I'm going to do a whole movie by minute show never having seen.
How do you know what to talk about?
It would be so annoying because it would just be me going, well, who's that guy? Like, what happens to that guy? You know.
So you don't even give the summary.
Well, no, I guess you'd have to give the summary. Yeah. I could read it, but someone else would have to write it.
It might work.
You know what? It might.
It really might work. Not for us, because we've seen all the movies before, but I could see it's kind of a straight man needing to...
It sort of
needs to be
the
told
listener is sort of
the
the point of entry where I'm like, I don't know anything about sort of seeing it through my eyes.
Yeah.
I like it.
And even better, he doesn't even remember the minutes before. So he's like, who's Sonny? Who's this guy?
What is this movie called again?
That's it. Every minute we have a guest on who's never seen, a different guest who's never seen The Godfather. Really? So every minute we have to do all the backstory.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Alex, repeat after me.
Yes.
E minuto.
Numero.
47.
47.
You got it?
That means 47 in Italian. Italian or Sicilian?
Italian.
Yeah. Subtle differences.
It would be in Sicilian if my father was still alive.
Well, here's a recap of what happens in minute number 47. Genco and Vito, their night at the theater continues as the beleaguered actor reveals his mother is dead.
Mama!
Bringing him to contemplate taking his own life.
Mia!
He sings.
No.
Hey, speaking of music.
Yeah.
You were interested in plugging your we wanted to give a shout out to your musical group.
That's right. I got a rockin' musical group, the Underdog Night Soldiers, and what's coming up soon will be a Han Solo song.
Yes, you are doing the closing theme for the upcoming season of Star Wars Minute, my day job, if you will.
And Alex, you won't hear it until it's totally done. I've been dying to play you parts of it because I'm really happy with it so far.
The funny part is if you put it if you sent it to Pete, I might never hear it because I never listened to the show. So
never.
I would never know what the closing theme was.
Well, great. Let's keep it that way.
Okay. I'll go listen to my Tony Bennett records.
That's right. So go check out the Underdog Night Soldiers on Spotify, YouTube, and everywhere else you can get music.
Yes, exactly. I've done a bunch of songs now. Yep. I've done the album art for it.
Bunch new ones coming out. Thanks, Alex.
Check it out. So. Back to the minute. Minute number 47. Now, this is a minute we've referenced many, many, many times prior to this.
We're talking years we've been calling out
maybe not now, but 10 years ago. Where the guy on stage does his famous "Mama, Mamma Mia," and then the music starts up and stuff.
I realize we've made him sound a lot more like a ghost the past few years, whereas
he is like a ghost. He disappeared from Italy.
Yeah. Whereas it's more like "Mama, Mamma Mia."
Well, here's something. I did some research and I found out the more information about this little scene we're seeing.
Okay,
it is a play called Senza Mama. Senza Mama.
Senza Mama.
Which
Senza
means
Mamma Mia.
Without Mama.
Oh.
And so it, according to the internet, it was a play written by Francesco Panino.
Okay.
who is Francis Ford Coppola's maternal grandfather.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if this was written specifically for this. Did he say go to his maternal grandfather? Hey, we're doing this thing. We need a little Italian scene. Can you write a little scenelet? Or was this?
Hey, Godfather, I need a favor. We start shooting this movie next week, and I need a scene in there with a real play.
The big immigrant picture.
Yeah. We'll send someone out next week, and we'll get you that play. No, Godfather, we start shooting next week.
No, Godfather. They did the play 50 years ago. Don't you remember? You were there.
Oh yeah, the guy. Don't worry, I'm gonna write some dialogue that you can't refuse.
What's the matter, Pop?
Well, how old was Francis? I almost said Frankie Five Angels. Francis Ford Coppola when he did this movie. Was his maternal grandfather still in the business of writing?
Well, he was probably in his early 30s. Okay. So he could still be alive.
He was probably in his 70s.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
And also his grandfather's name is Francesco Panino, and Panino is the name of the main character, where she comes in going, Panino, a letter from home.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if this is an autobiographical thing that he wrote or what.
That'd be funny because then his maternal grandfather wrote it.
Grandmother. No, his maternal grandfather.
His maternal grandfather.
Mother's father.
Yes. Yeah. Maternal grandfather wrote this as an autobiography because the character's his name, which means he's calling his wife a no good tramp.
Oh, you think he might have marrying her?
Well, we don't know. We don't see how the play ends. Is there any other information about the story of the play?
No.
That's it? We only know
the other thing I found was the lyrics to the song that he's singing.
Oh, okay.
So that might provide some clue.
Okay.
But I'm guessing this is just the kind of thing where he would sing the song and then everyone would applaud and that would be the end of it. It probably wasn't really probably wasn't much beyond
It's really just the scene?
Well, this is more or less just setting up it's like a music video. It's just I feel like it's just setting up the song. Like there's not really going to be any story about people. It's just an excuse for this guy to sing a ballad about missing home.
That's interesting.
With a little eye candy to keep Genco coming back. They cast her in everything because they know Genco just keeps coming back. So they're like, oh, we got to put the Genco girl. Yeah. So here's the song. Did you have any other questions?
I was just going to say, while you're looking that up, I did notice that when... Well, go ahead. I'll say it as you read it. Read the dialogue, not too fast. Don't rush through it.
And also, I don't know how much of this actually makes it... This seems like it's a bit lengthy, more so than...
we see. Okay.
But then again, we've only seen a little bit. It obviously goes on for the whole next minute because we see Finucci stand up and all that stuff in the next minute, so it goes on. All right, here we go. So this is translated by someone on the internet. So it's a little
rough
wobbly
around the edges.
Yeah. Solely for the love of an infamous, worthless person.
And this is the song, right?
This is the guy. The name of the song is "Without Mama."
Okay, but these are the lyrics of the song.
Yes.
So before you go into that, before the band comes in and he starts singing, do you remember in the minute? The thing I thought was great. When he's reading a letter, he says, "Mama has died." And do you hear the audience goes,
"Oh yeah," they all gasp.
There's a collective gasp.
No, they gasp when he takes the gun out. Isn't that when they gasp?
Oh, when he says "Mama died," they gasp.
Yeah.
Which now I think is really funny, knowing that the name of the play that they all went to see is "Without Mama."
Right.
So they're all shocked. Like, what did they think was going to happen?
Well, again, I don't think it was probably just like a list of it was almost just like different little acts. So people might not even read if they can even read, they might not have read the program that says without, anyway, so
I do think that's a bit of a spoiler to name your little scenelet, or maybe it was really just a song.
Yeah, again, it's more like a music video where the song is called "Without Mama," and For all we know, there are other people there who are like, oh, they love that song. They want to see that. And the people gasping were the people who had never seen it before. And were unaware that it was called Without Mama.
Yeah.
Or maybe that just means he came to America without Mama.
I'm trying to think of other interpretations of Without Mama.
Yeah. Well, maybe the lyrics. Maybe the lyrics will provide a clue.
Hey, we're going to smuggle olive oil, smuggle molasses in the trucks. Without Mama. You know what? We're gonna sing songs at the wedding. Without Mama.
No, wait a minute. Mama gets to sing at the wedding.
Okay, that one doesn't really work. You know what? Let's interfere in Carlo and Connie's marriage without Mama.
Let's kill Fredo without Mama.
Perfect.
All right, here we go. Here's the words to the song.
Hold on.
I love that also when the guy, the violin guy stands up.
Yeah.
In the front. That's he's kind of like, it's like a solo he gets to.
Yeah, well, I think he's conducting. He's the one sort of keeping the band together.
But yeah, it's funny that Genco yells at Fanucci for standing up, but the conductor, no one cares.
Yeah.
So here we go. Solely for the love of an infamous, worthless person, I departed from under Mama's breath and put out the flame of first love in this heart. I had to go. I came here alone and lost in America, in New York. That's not in the song. I just put
okay, you had that.
I came here alone and lost without the voice that comforts the heart, without Mama's love that never dies and can always make you happy. Without Mama, this must be the chorus. Without Mama, how strong is that word in this heart? Without love, what can I do with this youth? That doesn't. Now here's where it gets a little bit more plot. Okay. When a soldier, I was discharged. I returned home of Rosa, that cheat. So it sounds like he comes home and his girl is now cheating. I found that infamous woman married with my best friend who stayed to betray me. So this doesn't really seem like it has to do with the...
Well, this is probably all this is happening in Italy before he moves to America, right?
Running to my mother's house, crying, I told her the facts. She knew it. With tears in her eyes, she told me, go far away, my son. Try to forget. Like she's the one kicking him out of the house. Without Mama, I swear this world is a traitor. Without a heart that loves you, you can't live. You can't live. And while the thought consumed me, after 3 years of grief and melancholy, a letter arrived from my sister saying that Mama had died a long time ago. That's when everyone gasps.
A long time ago?
Yeah.
What took her so long to write?
I don't know. She had to learn how to read and write first.
She had to learn how to write.
And while that thought consumed me, after 3 years of grief... Oh, I read that part already. Now, what remains of this life of mine? Everything I was hoping for is over. I've lost the love, the most sincere, the goodness of Mama. No, you can never return. And then the
None
chorus.
of that rhymes. I'm surprised they used those lyrics.
The guy was 87 when he wrote it. He just
sad.
only got the job because he was Francis Ford Coppola's grandfather.
Well, that is sad.
What about that? He only got the job because it was his grandfather?
No, that too.
Yeah. It's got to be tough.
Yeah.
We're a nation of immigrants.
Yeah. Well, would it have been better for that character to stay in Sicily?
That's the bittersweet side of the American dream. Is that like for the immigrant story, you come here for a better life, but it means you have to leave your old life behind.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for coming out to the show. Yeah, so that is the song.
Well, thanks for looking that up.
Yeah.
I watched the minute several times because I'd love to hear it. It's very nuanced. I really enjoy the song. I enjoy hearing it, and I enjoy seeing the actors on that little stage. And you pointed out last time that the way it's shot it's very square and centered. We don't see the crowd all the time. So it really is like a show for us.
Yeah, like we're in this theater with the... Because I guess if you're in the movie theater, you're in a theater watching... You are watching... Like you're sitting in a theater watching it, so it looked like a play.
Oh, it's so great. I love the set and their makeup and their clothes and everything. It's great.
So yes, that song is on the Godfather 2 soundtrack. If you're curious, if you want to track that down. So
okay. You know, I forgot last week we were talking about how the actress in this scene married Thomas Dolby.
Yes.
The very next day after recording that, I heard Thomas Dolby on the radio.
Get out of here.
Which is crazy because I haven't heard Thomas Dolby on the radio in years.
You know, because so clearly our phones are listening to us. And we're
I know, that's what I was thinking too.
I'll play Thomas Dolby.
Yeah.
So changing gears for a bit.
What
are your thoughts on suspenders?
I was gonna talk about suspenders.
There you go. We're on the same wavelength.
You know, I'm not big on them, but I got them for Halloween costume. Oh, that's right. I was Charles Ingalls a few years ago.
Papa.
Oh, Ma. Oh, Papa. And I'll have to say, they're very comfortable to wear.
Yeah.
They're very comfortable, and they don't
pinch.
No pinching, no constriction.
Yeah.
I liked them.
Well, so the times I've worn them, I have enjoyed them. Like I've worn them under other clothes, you know. Like if I've worn like a jacket, I've never worn it where you can see the suspenders.
Oh yeah.
Like you know, like when you were Pa, you had to wear them. You have to be able to see the suspenders.
People had to see them,
for it to work. But so I like the way they feel, but I'm. It's like a line.
You're self-conscious.
I don't want to cross. I don't want to become a suspenders guy.
Why not?
I don't know. Well, no offense to any suspenders guys out there. I just don't feel like it's for me. It just feels like, I don't know, I guess older and also like.
Is it like geeky? Or like old man?
No, it's more dorky than geeky.
But I think people have embraced, I think you own it because at least for a while, I remember people were wearing them in an ironic way.
Yeah. I think if I wasn't overweight, I think I'd be more okay with it. But being a fat guy with suspenders, it's like a different, like, I don't know, it's a different feeling.
It's like trying too hard.
Not trying too hard, but it's almost like not trying hard enough. It's like you're just kind of like resigned to the fact that you're like, well, I'm fat, so I can't even get human belts. I'm just going to hang my clothes from my,
my gosh.
So it's like, it's like a line I don't want to cross. And I know other non-heavy people can wear suspenders, and I see what you mean about hipsters, there being a certain, fashion trend about that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just not for me. But like I said, they're super comfortable.
What do you think about other people wearing them?
I think it depends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on a case-by-case basis. I think some people can look good in suspenders. Robin Williams.
Yeah, wasn't there a suspenders resurgence in the 80s? I seem to remember like L.A. Law, like business guys.
Oh yeah, there was business guys in the 80s did wear like Wall Street, and they did wear like suspenders.
Yeah, which is kind of
like
an ironic
like Office Space kind of.
It's
Gary Cole wears suspenders. Hey, I tell you what, is he wearing suspenders?
Does he wear suspenders?
I don't know. It seems like he should be.
Oh my gosh, I realized I started talking like Lumberg, just doing a lot of vocal takes at work. Like well, you see, in Oregon, it's the land of nice. People are very nice here. And so you have to preamble a lot of what you say with...
Even good news, you have to soften the blow.
You do. It's really interesting. I find I do that a lot more here in Oregon.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, Peter, you see, it's kind of like those reports. I'm gonna need to see those reports at some point today. That was my Lumberg, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't say all that stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm guessing suspenders were a lot more popular back in the 1910s when this scene takes place. True or false?
I do think it's true. I don't know when belts became the thing.
We'll ask.
It probably when jeans became popular.
Huh.
Because I feel like all in the 40s and stuff, men wore like slacks all the time, as opposed to but I feel like jeans are more of a belt thing. I don't know. It's weird. We'll ask, we'll answer.
Okay.
Next time, I should have looked up the history of suspenders. Why didn't I do that?
Suspenders.
I apologize, listeners.
Keep your pants on. We'll get to it.
Well, speaking of apologies.
Yeah, what else you got?
I make no apologies for anyone. So the minute starts off with Genco being like, "Oh, look how beautiful she is."
Yeah.
And and Vito makes a point of saying, "Well, like to you she's beautiful, but to me, I have a wife and son."
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting because it really flies in the face. The Don's a very prudish guy. Because if you recall in GF1, he chastised Sonny for making comedy with that girl. So
he's embarrassed of Fredo's cohorting around in the book.
Oh, in the book,
Yeah.
Okay. We don't really know his feelings about it in GF 1. But so I think it's so the stereotype certainly you think of like crime bosses as like having a Gumar and like the Talia style. But I guess because Vito is once again like he seems to be the noble exception in the gangster lifestyle. Like he would never cheat on his wife. He would never. He's really is like a noble, a probably unrealistically noble guy.
Yeah.
So although I wonder if it later on, do you think he ever did he ever like have a mistress, or do you think he was always
not in the book, not in the movies? So the character probably not, but like you're saying, I think in reality it probably was not likely.
Right. So we don't. Well,
that's my guess. But I don't know.
We know Fredo tomcatted around. We know certainly tomcatted around. We know Tom had a mistress in Las Vegas.
Mikey was married twice.
We don't know if he ever cheated though. If he was ever like a serial,
that's right.
If he had girlfriends or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
Connie got around.
She did have her wild
All
years.
The Corleone.
Although she wasn't married then.
Oh yeah,
in between.
Right.
In fact, although maybe she was because the ink was barely dry on her, so I guess she was technically not married. So
as long as the ink's there,
barely not married.
Yeah. Hey, when I said before that the whole crowd at the theater, there was a collective gasp.
Yeah.
When he said "Mama died."
Yeah.
And then another one when he pulls out the pistol. I realized that those things would never elicit that reaction nowadays, because movies and shows.
You think people are just too jaded?
It would have to be much more extreme. So what do you think nowadays would elicit that collective gasp in a live theater? A legitimate one, not an ironic one, not a sarcastic one.
Sarcastic. Oh my gosh! Like, well, they're done.
Boo-hoo. What would it be? It would have to be probably something really gross.
Well, do you think it's like? But I mean, like people in I don't know. Are you saying it's because people in modern times?
It's all been seen and done before.
So like All in the Family, which was filmed live before a studio, or people would sometimes gasp for other reactions.
Yeah, exactly.
In that situation, but you don't think that would?
I'm saying nowadays in 2022.
I think that could still happen.
Really?
Yeah.
But what event would trigger that response?
I think it might be more that we wouldn't do it. I think because we've been exposed to so much more media, I think the simple act of someone being like, now I'm getting,
Sure. Think it through.
I was going to say, because if we were following a story and in the season finale, it was revealed that somebody died, that people might gasp because they become invested in the story. Whereas if you're just watching if you're watching basically the music video of this, and someone's like, the beginning of the music video, someone's like, their mother died, someone going, oh, like not knowing anything about the people or any of the backstory, it seems like a harder thing to, maybe people were just simpler back then, or they were just so like the idea of their own mothers dying was such a sensitive topic that even just bringing it up was like a, you know how superstitious, Sicilians can be. So maybe even just the idea of bringing up someone's mother dying was like a
maybe you're right that it would take some investment into knowing and loving the characters.
Yeah,
that a death could do that to.
Maybe we're just so hardened because there's so much competing for our attention.
Yeah,
that like, well, some stranger's mother died. Like, that's not my problem. Maybe it's because we're New Yorkers, so we're just like we're more jaded. But I don't know. It's an interesting difference, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last time I had that reaction. I truly was shocked, or had the wind knocked out of me based on some event I saw on TV or in a movie.
I think it helps if you're not doing it by yourself. If you're with someone else, I feel like you're more likely to have a big, it's like laughing, or you're more likely to have a bigger reaction if there's other people around.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. I'll take a note of it next time it happens to me. Like, oh, it was this event that did it.
So maybe this was actually the finale. Maybe this was like the season finale of Without Mama. And people kept waiting for like the whole season long. They've been saying, "Oh, Mom's going to be here at the end of the end of the month. Oh, it's going to be so great." And then he's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. Or chapter 1 was Without My Brother, and the end of that was just like the brother couldn't come to the wedding.
Yeah.
And then the next one was Without My daughter, and it's because she had school that day. And so like 10 chapters later it's Without Mama, and everyone thinks it's gonna be like Mama got sick or something.
That's great.
It's terrible.
And they would have hyped, like they would have had like a famous actress. Like there would be rumors that their famous actress was going to be cast as Vicki Lawrence was going to play Mama, and then
that's great. Oh my gosh, has that ever been done?
What
a great gimmick where it's a play or a movie, it could be anything where there's a character but you never see them because they're either.
All right, let's wrap this thing up because the paywall's here. How can people hear more, Andy?
People can go to godfatherminute.com/support, and for just $1 a month, right?
$3.
Scratch that, $3 a month.
Yeah.
Inflation, right?
Yeah.
Inflation gets us all. You can get unlimited access to all of our content, all of our bonus content, years worth of bonus content.
Yeah, because in addition to every episode of Godfather Minute being roughly twice as long, there's also bonus content for every episode of Godfather Part 1.
That's right.
So,
and Alex, just a teaser for those who aren't already subscribers, you will hear in this episode the actor who plays Carlo Rizzi. Who is it, Alex?
Why are you doing that?
He sent me a personal message to get better when I was ill last month. So go to godfatherminute.com/support, subscribe, and you can hear that. So until next time, Mama Mia.